Welcome back to the channel where we rate good movies.
And we don't lie about the bad ones.
Today we're going to be reviewing Project Hail Mary. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty darn good, generally.
I think, okay, spoilers ahead. I think we should give a summary of the movie, like a brief summary of the movie, and then talk about it.
Alright, you give the summary.
Okay. So, I can't remember what they called it in the movie, but basically...
Astrophage.
Yeah, astrophage. It's like this bacteria, basically, that's eating the sun.
All suns.
Yes, it's killing all of them across the entire universe. And obviously that's a problem because Earth is going to die without its sun. And the main character, played by Ryan Gosling, his name's Grace, he gets recruited to help figure out why it's eating the sun. And the story's told out of order, but essentially he gets stranded in space in the process of trying to save the sun, and he needs to from space, he needs to send back the answer on how to save the sun.
Our sun.
Yes.
By studying the one star that we know about that isn't suffering from... It has astrophage, but it's not dying because of it.
Yes. And while he's out in space, stranded, trying to find the answer to that, why that star isn't dying, he meets an alien who's doing the exact same thing to try to save his planet. I think that's...
Yeah, that's pretty much the baseline summary.
Yeah. Okay. And... yeah, what did you think about the start of the movie?
I really like how the movie starts. I think it does a really good job of getting your attention and holding it, so that, I mean, you know why he's there. He doesn't know why he's there, and it's kind of fun seeing people in those situations, because people tend to wonder what they would do in those situations. So it's fun to see how they respond.
We have more faith in him than he has in him.
Yes.
The audience does. And I think right off the bat, I agree, it's really interesting, and all of the characters are interesting. Like, even the ones where you kind of expect them to be horrible and obnoxious, I think
they're well written.
Yes, I agree. Where they're not just there for the purpose of being annoying or obnoxious. They actually have a personality. They have a real purpose in the movie, not just
plot
convenience.
Device.
Yeah. And so I really liked that. I liked the visuals when he is at the start experimenting on the astrophage? Yeah. When he's experimenting on it, trying to figure out why it's eating the sun. Like, I thought that entire montage, I guess, was extremely well done. And I thought that the writing throughout that entire montage was really well done. Like, it was funny, but not in a way where it's like obnoxious in your face trying to be funny. It's like he's you know what I mean? Like, he's like trying to figuring things out.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of those people that when he's doing something, he's yelling at himself and whatever, and it's pretty entertaining. And like, I know people I'm one of those people. Talk to myself all the time when I'm working.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny to see somebody else do it and be like, this dude's a moron. But it's like a funny moron.
But he's like a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's funny.
And yeah, I think they do a good job too, where I think in a lot of movies now, the main character is unlikable. I think that is not true about this movie. I think the main character, Grace, I think he's really likable. I think he's really relatable. And I think that's really good.
Yeah, he's a good man, generally. And there's not a lot of that going around right now, so nice to see that for a change. In fact, there really is no bad
character
or person in this movie. They all have flaws. Like, they have flaws, and those flaws are apparent, but they're not. I think there's only one case where it's a little overdone, but that's my opinion. But generally, extremely well written and well acted movie.
Yeah. And especially when Grace, when he's out in space, and he initially wakes up from his induced coma, because I think he's 11 years from Earth or something like that, and he wakes up, the other two people on the ship are dead, so he's all by himself in the middle of space with this star that is not dying. And initially, I mean, he doesn't really know what to do, and then he sees this other huge ship, and the other huge ship starts communicating with him. And
and that's a really fun sequence.
Yeah, the whole thing I thought was very well done. I think all the stuff where he was like
learning.
Yeah, I thought it was really. It kind of reminded me of Arrival, but on like a more family
funny
level. Yeah.
Right, like, because Arrival's really good when she's trying to figure stuff out, but that is a way more complex and emotional, serious movie. Where this is, I think,
wholesome.
It's wholesome and it is complex. Like, they're talking about pretty complicated science, but they're making it palatable for
somebody like us to understand.
Right. So
they don't tell you in your face exactly what they're doing, but you can use the context clues to like figure it out.
Yeah. So.
Which I appreciate. But I do know that the alien he meets, Rocky, wasn't that all practical effects? You can tell. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's a puppet, and it's really well done. Which
Extremely.
Is another nice thing. Like, it looks good. It doesn't look like computer graphics.
They cared.
Right.
They gave a single crap. Like, it's... And it looks a million times better.
Yeah, the ship looks awesome. Actually, just generally the special effects in the whole movie, I can't think of any scene that I thought looked terrible.
I don't think... Yeah, I agree with that.
And it was... I mean, I've seen, like, the last Marvel movie that I saw was, like, the Thunderbolts or whatever, and the special effects in that were horrible.
They weren't good.
I mean, that was actually a okay movie for a Marvel movie, especially lately. But I don't know what's going on with special effects nowadays, but they're terrible. They've gone backwards. In this movie,
they were really well done.
I
also would like to say with Rocky, I like that. Obviously, he's an alien, but I think in most movies, when there's an alien, it's at some level like personified into like human. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in Star Wars, obviously, like Jabba the Hutt or all the weird looking people, but they still like they have a face. Jabba the Hutt looks like a human if a human was a slug.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rocky doesn't have it's not doesn't look anything like a human at all.
No.
And I like that a lot, actually, because...
Yeah, he don't even have a mouth,
No, he doesn't have a face. He doesn't have eyes. He has, like, echolocation, like a bat. I really liked the scenes. There was a few scenes where they showed what it was like, how Rocky saw everything. I really liked those scenes.
Yeah, it was really good because then that also gave challenges to Grace about how to communicate with Rocky. And so the way they dealt with the challenges of their communication was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it was fun not just for Grace, like to see what Grace's response was. It was fun to see what Rocky was going to do too.
And I think that another thing they did really well was Rocky wasn't like Baby Yoda or
like a super genius.
Yeah. No, Baby Yoda or like Gizmo.
Oh, super cute.
Yeah, where it was like, oh, I like Rocky because he's so cute. Like, but like Rocky, even though Rocky was like literally a rock, like it was, you know what I'm saying? You cared about Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky had a personality. Rocky was funny. Rocky was smart.
Yeah, but he wasn't like. That's the other thing is they didn't make the alien like some super mega genius.
No, because they were smart about different things. Because obviously each of their planets have different things on their planet.
Yeah, different experiences and knowledge.
So they both put their knowledge together to problem solve on how they should go about learning about this star, and ultimately that's what let them do it. I mean, they literally had to pool all their knowledge.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty fun, and there was a couple of tense situations that I thought were really well done.
oh yeah, there were parts where I was sitting in the chair and I was like, I wasn't breathing. Like one scene especially, and I think that's the most stressed I've been watching a movie in theaters for probably like a while.
Yeah. It's been a while for me too, but
I don't remember the last time with something new that came out.
yeah, I don't know. So overall, what did you think of the movie?
I thought that there was really only 3 things throughout the whole movie that I saw that bugged me like at all, but 2 of them are kind of like nothing. The first one was when he woke up from his induced coma on the ship by himself in the middle of space, had no idea what was going on because he had no memories, and it was like self-deprecating humor where instead of like he was cracking jokes almost immediately, where I just don't think like that's the time and place to do those jokes when like I don't find it funny. I don't think it really has a place in a scene like that. And I think that scene would have been more impactful without that. And there was another scene where they're using like a centrifugal, one of those testers that like spins, right? And he puts the vial in it, but it's unbalanced. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That annoyed me. It didn't annoy me that much, but I saw it and I was like, like, what are you doing? But it's just something I noticed. And then the ending, when they're going back and forth and showing him in space, and then like before he left for space and leading up to why and how he got there, I think that it was overdone in the sense of like how he got there, how he got into that position.
Yeah, that part, that was and I don't really want to spoil it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either.
But I just, the decision-making process of how he got up there irritated me bad.
There was definitely a whole sequence of, I'd say the last sequence of like the flashbacks of how he got there that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like it was a whole waste of time because we already knew how and why he got up there.
And we also knew...
We didn't need that extra,
right,
like, filler. I think it just added more time to an already probably too long movie.
Yeah.
Because I think the pacing probably could have been a little bit better in the movie. I don't think it was boring by any means. It was just really long.
Well, and we knew what his mindset was like earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to like...
They didn't have to shove it down your throat.
Yeah, it was the one point that kept hammering home, and it's like, bro, we got it.
Yeah.
So, and then, well, I'll let you finish. Did you have anything else to say about it?
No, I think those were the main things that bothered me. Those were really the only things that bothered me. I thought the character writing, like, those are the best written characters I've seen in a new movie for, I think, a long time.
Oh, a long time, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, not just the characters, but the relationships with each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's presented, well, like how he taught. There's one of the things I liked is there's a main, like, kind of, she's like the project lead, and she's very presented as serious. And then there's one part where she lets her guard down, and, like, all the other characters in the movie react appropriately. And then she lets her guard down, and you can tell, like, I don't even really think she's self-conscious. She's just like, this is a serious time, this is a serious moment, but...
She's stressed.
But I need to let some steam off, so she does that, and then she's like, you can see her like, all right, I'm out of here. And then she, whatever.
Goes back to it, yeah.
So I really like that, because it's kind of, saw another side of her character that you were kind of hoping was going to be there, and she's really awkward.
And it made her more relatable.
But it's endearing, yeah. It was endearing. So, but my biggest issue with the movie was it was too long. I mean...
It was It had to be close to 3 hours.
Oh, it felt like 3 hours, and
It was long.
Don't get me wrong, I did not dislike the movie. In fact, if they would have ended the movie at like the 2 hour 20 mark, my opinion of the movie, I would like out of 10 stars or whatever, I'd probably give it a 8.5.
Yeah, I think mine would be higher too if they shortened it a bit.
But
and I think not only in that flashback scene that was unnecessary, I think there was probably like even after that 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes of the movie that just was completely unnecessary. Like we didn't need to see it because we already knew it was going to happen.
yeah, they should have just put it in the bonus materials.
Yeah, like you could go, I agree with that.
Like when you get the Blu-ray or whatever, and then but it felt to me like the directors were in love with these characters, and
they didn't want to
they didn't want to end the movie, or they didn't quite know how to end the movie. They're this goes to the very heart of their relationship or whatever.
Like when you like a book, so you just like put off finishing it,
right?
Because it's the last.
That's kind of what it felt like. But honestly, that's aside from the character assassination that happens towards the end of the movie, and I don't mean that. I mean that just kind of in the way they handle Grace, the length of the movie. But I mean, considering how movies have been lately, this movie's a fucking masterpiece compared to like a lot of movies right now.
Yeah. What did you think about the cinematography and the soundtrack?
I thought the cinematography was really good. The soundtrack,
there was a few parts where I was listening to it and it was weird, is what I thought. I don't think it was bad. For the most part, I think it was kind of just forgettable.
Yeah.
But there was a few parts where I was listening and was like, what is going on? It was, I thought, strange.
Yeah, it didn't really detract from the movie, but it's not like an Interstellar soundtrack where
it was like, it adds to the movie.
Right.
Where it's literally substantial.
Right. So that shit don't really bother me. The only time it bothers me is if the soundtrack is really terrible, and there are
terrible soundtracks.
Terrible soundtracks. But this ain't one of them. It's just to me, it's not. I don't think it was
terrible,
substantial either.
I agree with that. I also thought the cinematography was really well done. I think it was always very. My basis for cinematography is I need to be able to tell what's going on. Like, I need to be able to tell what's going on without sitting at the screen and saying, like, trying to track what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I need to easily be able to see. That's what your job is. You're the camera. Show me what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it was really easy to tell what was going on in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. The editing and the cinematography definitely helped in that regard. There was the action scenes were really well thought out and planned. You could tell.
All the scenes in space, I thought they were like pretty phenomenal. Like it was easy to tell what was going on, and I also liked when he was in space outside of his ship, it was silent.
Yeah. So I do like that kind of nerd stuff because there is no sound in space because there's no air in space, and sound waves can't vibrate if there's no air. So I like stuff like that, but I also like the little details of how they do darkness out in space, hard shadows, all that stuff. Like, it looked really good. I don't know. It's
I agree.
very fun. You should, even though it's a long movie, I think you should go see it in the theater because
I think it's worth it.
It's worth it to see it in the theater. Just, get a popcorn and maybe don't start drinking your soda till halfway through because otherwise you're going to get pee probably twice, especially if you're old like me. Older. I'm not old. Anyway. What do you get? I don't know if you got anything else to say.
No, I think that's about it. I do like, there is some little add-ins where, I don't know if you noticed, but Grace would have like really dumb nerdy t-shirts on that I thought, like there was one where there was a periodic table and it said, I wear this shirt periodically.
Yes, that was a nice shirt.
I love that actually, a lot. I think
yeah.
that's a really good detail. It's so small. Or like Ryan Gosling's glasses, where throughout the movie they would be like randomly, like it would be hanging off his ear by like one of the things. I don't know. I like stuff like that because I don't know.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, like it adds to his character a lot, I think. And it makes him more, like, again, relatable, likable.
Yeah, because he's like a weird nerd.
Yeah.
He's kind of a loner.
Just stuff like that. I think they did a really good job, like I said, with writing their characters up until last 15 minutes probably.
Yeah.
But
and
even then, I don't hate the ending. I'm just like,
yeah, it just didn't comport with me. It was like that's
I think
you're overdoing it.
yeah, I agree. But yeah, what would you give this movie out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 7.
Yeah, I think I'd probably give it a 7.5. I definitely would watch it again.
Yeah, I'd watch it again. In fact, I'd watch it probably a couple more times to see if there's anything I missed.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like, there's probably new stuff that I would notice.
But it'd be funner, more like now that I've
Funner.
seen it, more it'd be more funner. It'd be more better to watch it at home, like in my own time, so I don't have to sit down for 3 hours straight.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
watch it 45 minutes here and whatever, and really pay attention. So
I agree with that.
I don't know. Yeah, I. In fact, I'm not gonna lie. I probably will buy the Blu-ray for this or whatever they call it now.
The disc.
Yeah.
Go watch Project Hail Mary in theaters. Thank you for watching.